Hi, it's Polly. Thanks for joining me. So I'm going to talk about the election right now because it's still happening, and it helps if we look at it as entertaining and not get wrapped up in the non-entertaining aspect of it. So I just wanted to touch base. That last week I said something about a hurricane, and that is, I guess the hurricane is actually kind of taking place today, which is Tuesday, I think the 29th. I'm not positive. Anyhow, it's around, hasn't made landfall yet, but it's happening. Interestingly enough, I think that we will probably have an earthquake somewhere in the next week. And before I pull cards, the thing about the hurricane that I think is interesting is they show it that, like they're putting it, because they still show me like a page over here is Trump and a page over here is Biden, and they show me that hurricane is like sliding in closer to Biden than it is on Trump, and so it makes me really curious. Like, is it going to hit more of the states that are Biden state, or somehow affects Biden in this election? Which I think is really interesting, because it doesn't sound like it's that big of a storm, but I wonder if there is some type of little interesting secret indicator there. I will say that they are still showing me, like I said, like a page, like if you have a magazine page or something, and Trump is completely on one page, and we have Biden on the other side. I see something about Biden. He does something where he brings Trump over into his area. Like he actively does something where he brings Trump into his area. So that means that Biden takes a stance on something where he makes, where he addresses something about Trump, and it's definitely Biden's strong point. He's bringing something, Trump, somehow into Biden's territory. And it's interesting because I mean, I don't watch the campaign ads at all, but I'm assuming that Biden is not as much of a aggressor as Trump is in the campaign ads, but there's something that's going to be a little shift this week in that. So I think that's interesting. So somehow he actively brings Trump into his area in the and that'll make the news, or somehow it's in the ad. And I'm just really excited. I'll probably do my last one on Tuesday of the election day, talking about since I've been following it for a few months. So I'm going to pull a card for both of them and see what I get. And I just have to tell everybody that for me this week, it feels like, yeah, stuff is happening, and there's a lot of scrambling in the back, but I also feel like things are starting to open up. And regardless of how this comes out, I'm telling you, there's a lot of, there's more and more separation there. There's clearly more separation between the two candidates, absolutely. And that separation is allowing this difference of opinion. It's actually going to allow people to, and it might not seem like it right now, but I'm telling you, it's going to allow people to actually converse more and make progress in removing some of the obstacles that we've had. There will be something, it's going to be easier to talk to people about things that we didn't, that were kind of taboo subjects, or how we weren't able to talk to people across the aisle. That is already starting to change. So something is starting to change, and it's, we might not see it in the public yet. I'm telling you, it's already, this week is the start of that. So, and it might not be apparent yet, but I'm telling you that energy of change is coming in, and there's a bigger and greater separation between those two candidates and what they stand for. I quickly pull a card. I'm very happy to see that, though. Biden card. Oh, no, that's so funny. I love doing this. Trump card. So with Biden, we have lots of stars, and again, this deck is the Tarot of Light, and they title this Hoarding. I actually feel like, Biden still has an arsenal that he has not, there's something he needs to tap into that he has not tapped into yet to win this election. So I believe that and I'm going to tell you one other thing, and then I'm going to move on to Trump. I do see that there's probably, I don't know if it's at a polling place, or there's going to be, it could be in front of the White House. There is going to be some aggressive activity in terms of I hate using the word explosive, but it could be, there's something going on there outside of, and I see barriers, so I don't know if this is outside the White House, outside of a polling place, but there's definitely some explosive activity. So I don't know if that happens on the night of the election, but we will see that happening. And people can say, well, that's not surprising, but I'm telling you, there's going to be something that you're like, okay, now we need to walk this back. Things have gotten a little out of hand. Biden actually, before I pull for Trump, Biden will actually, there's something that he can do. He can step up and cause that to calm down. So we'll just see where that goes. And then for Trump, the turnaround, I feel like this is a pretty reflective time for him, and we could say, okay, reflective, and because we could even say this is memorable of 2016 where he actually won the election. But I feel like there's an introspective part in him having to come to terms with a new reality. And let me see if I can get anything more than that besides very introspective, very reflective time for him. You will see him pausing. You will see him coming to a stop and really pausing is what you will see in the next week. So I don't know if that means that he goes off the campaign trail or whatever, but he actually pauses and stops. And it really does become, it's almost like there's a barrier where he cannot actively do what he wanted to do or follow through on his intentions. So let's see what that means. Anyhow, thank you for following me. I'm really excited to wrap this. I mean, I'm going to keep doing a YouTube, but to wrap up the this aspect, though I'll still follow political and world stuff. You can find out more about me on my Instagram, which is Polly_Wyram, my website, which is pollywyram.com. And we just sold out, but I'm still doing the Moon School with a lovely teacher, Sarah Elise, but we sold out. We will start a second class in a few months. And I just sending everybody gratitude and stay safe. Thank you.